to the 65th edition of the Motocross of Nations here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely in France. We have all the normal teams. We have America, Great Britain, France, Spain, Portugal, Team Puerto Rico. But of course, this is the biggest race of the year, so check it out and enjoy.
Well, we're at Saint-Jean-d'Angely, about an hour or so north of Bordeaux. Team USA are on a bit of a win streak as well. They've won the last 6 Motocross of Nations events. They're looking for victory number 7. Home nations, France, who failed to make the podium in Colorado in 2010, are firm favourites to at least finish on the podium. Their past results include 4th in 2003, and then 2nd in 2005, 2007, 2008 and 2009. The only win came in 2001, but 15 podiums mean they are very consistent in this event. After that, it's going to be a free-for-all for that 3rd step of the podium. Italy, Great Britain, Australia, South Africa, all potentials for that podium.
Normally, we only have one guy doing a lap of the track, but this is the Motocross of Nations. It's special. We have 2 MX2 riders, 2 of the best in the world. We have Ken Roczen, who won the overall World Championship, Dean Wilson, who won the AMA Outdoors. So let's take a look at this track.
And it's a pretty long start straight down to turn 1, past pit lane as well, and then it turns back on itself to go uphill for the first time, of which there are many around this Saint-Jean-d'Angely circuit. Through turn 2, a bit of a dogleg, and then levelling out here onto a plateau, but that turns into 3 big monster waves before turning tight here. You can see it's a bit of a split section. Downhill here it's triple, go to the outside it's a double single. Either way it brings you through this sweeping right-hander, and to turn 4, this bank turn at the bottom of the hill. Under the Fox banner, over the double step-up, into what is the final corner in terms of the actual racetrack, and heading down to the Monster Energy finish line jump right there. Then we go through this right-hander, 90 degrees, you've got the banking to use to the outside, and then we have a double step down here. Through the right sweeper, this is where actually Ken Roczen crashed on this uphill triple, lap 1, second moto at the Grand Prix back in June. At the top of the hill, it's a tight left, down a couple of steps here. You can double onto that little plateau if you want, if you get the momentum around the outside. But then we hit the bottom, braking hard, getting on the gas, hanging off the back of the bike to get up over this jump onto the plateau or further before getting back on the gas, over another big step up, hard on the brakes into the right turn, and then it's down over the Rebutizer Bridge. This is where Travis Pastrana passed Stefan Roncada at the 2000 Nations at the turn of the century. This left-hander normally gets quite deep and rutted to the inside, but the outside is also an option. Then it's uphill onto a plateau. We used to go tight right, down into a tight left, and come into the wave section here through the turn, but as you can see, it's open right up, and it's straight the way through for this Motocross of Nations event. Tightens up through here, a couple of moguls inside both those lefts and rights, and then we drop downhill. Ken Roczen now taking the lead from Dean Wilson. Is that a sign of things to come, maybe, in the race? Through the left-hander, very off-cambered through there, and then it's this right-hander, a step down into the final corner, back along the start straight, past pit lane. That's a lap of Saint-Jean-d'Angely. The qualifying races were quite an interesting affair, as Ryan Dungey stormed into the lead. He had Evgeny Bobashev, Chad Reed and Tony Cairoli with him, but before long all eyes were on Ryan Dungey and Tony Cairoli, the lead 2 riders here. Dungey on that yellow Suzuki, Cairoli on the orange KTM number 13. Evgeny Bobashev, the Russian, tried to keep them in his sights, but started to lose ground quite quickly. Cairoli tried to make a move past Dungey, but the American held on for a couple more laps. And these two really putting on a show for the packed crowd here that already lined the circuit on Saturday. Back markers came into play, but Ryan Dungey went on to win from Cairoli and Porcel. Reed was 4th, Rattray 5th. The second qualifying race was the MX2 guys, and it was the number 2, Blake Baggett, riding his first Motocross of Nations event. Straight away though, he was followed by Ken Roczen. Roczen crashed though on the very next lap and went down to 8th place, leaving it to the number 35 of Pascal Rauschnecker. The 120 as well was in there. Of course, that was Stefan Olsson of Sweden on the Yamaha there in the red top. And Dean Wilson also having a good qualifying here, finding his way past Pascal Rauschnecker to go into 3rd position in the qualifying race. Ken Roczen then put the pressure on Rauschnecker, who lost the front end, went down. That paved the way for Roczen and Joel Roulance to go through. The Belgian on the number 5 KTM. Well, Baggett was up front having a ride of his life. There, number 2, the American, and very, very easily out in front as well. It was Marvin Musquin, the French hopeful, number 20 in 2nd position. Dean Wilson, though, was in 3rd. Ken Roczen, number 8 there, was in 4th and got held up with a couple of laps to go by a back marker, and that cost him getting 3rd. But it was a win for Baggett. That was 2 wins out of 2 for America. They were safely through to the main event. The final race was the qualifying race. Jimmy Albertson riding for Puerto Rico and Brad Anderson riding for Great Britain. They turned left instead of right at the end of the start straight, and that was costly for those two. The Puerto Rican, Jimmy Albertson in particular. But up front though, it was Ryan Villapoto who stormed away for Team USA. Gauthier Moreland though in 2nd position came under pressure from the Italian Davide Guarneri, who eventually thought he would go through here and succeeded. But it was Villapoto making it a 1-1-1 for Team USA.
You know, it's one of the biggest races in our sport, so the media can be pretty heavy. Yeah, they all want a piece, so but it's not bad. It's definitely going to be good. Little bit of a stressful weekend, but it's fun.
Basically knowing that it was just qualifying, that nothing really was going to be one but gate pick on that day, I was pushing pretty good. You know, I feel like this is my first time here, and I'm still trying to get used to the track and everything.
Team USA went 1-1-1, so you can't really ask for much better than that. We all did what we came over to do. It's going to be technical, it's going to be really, really difficult, but we're just going to plug away at it and see what we can do.
I don't think it'll be that we just weren't good enough. If it happens, it'll be something else.
USA are always a team to be reckoned with. However, it's Italy have proven to really be pushing their boundaries with a 2nd place in qualifying. They've had a tough couple of weeks. However, they're happy, they're strong, they're ready to be here. So let's take a look at what they've been up to.
We do it new ignition with GET, and the bike is more fun to drive. I can do what I want. Before it was more difficult to do, but now if I want to do something, and the bike can do it.
What I learned in the last 2 nations I did is everything can happen. Philippas was injured, they called me, I was proud to race here. Then I hope many Italian people will come.
I know we have a good hard pack rider in Italy. Lupino and Guarneri did a very good job, and I also did a good job. It's not one of my favorite tracks, but anyway, we did a nice race, and hopefully tomorrow we can finish on the podium. That's our goal.
Well, as the officials from the FIM open the 65th Motocross of Nations here in France, we're going to take a quick break. But if you want to find out what happens next, you best tune into part 2.
Feels awesome to be back in France and, you know, back in Europe just full stop. It's this event for us is always a lot of fun. You know, individually I feel like we have all riding great. You know, Matt's coming off of an MX2 championship in Australia. Brett and I, 3rd and 4th respectively in the US. So we're ready to put Australia on the map, and I feel that we have 3 individuals that can rise to the occasion and challenge for you know, for the top spots this weekend. And
yeah, definitely achievable goal, I think, for this year on the podium. We're all riding well. I mean, definitely be on the podium. I believe we can.
No, it feels great. These two, they think they're Australian, but they act like Yanks. But no, you know, it's good. Jet lag's good. Been sleeping well. I feel really good, actually. I love the track here, and I'm just excited to be here for my first year, and just excited to get out there and mix it with the best people in the world. I think my speed's good, so hopefully we can get a win. Or definitely a podium. I think that's really in our capabilities. There goes China. Bye, China. Hello. Hello.
I guess they want to be a part of the team.
Yeah, they need to be.
Go.
因为中国的比赛规模没有
In China, the competition is much smaller than Europe. This time it's an international level, and it's a competition like the Olympics for motocross. And for me to represent my country in this competition, of course, I'm very, very happy. For us coming here, it's not about seeing the podium, it's more about to represent and run in the competition for the country. Well, to communicate with our manager and mechanics, we don't have a lot of problems. The mechanics and manager have already been to China, and we've already had time to train together, and we have our translators, so there are no real problems to work together.
Actually, all three of us, both you know, on the team, have traveled, you know, as young kids. I know Brett and I quite a lot. You know, spent a lot of time in Indonesia and in Taiwan and stuff like that racing. So, you know, motorsports and motor racing is big everywhere in the world, and especially in Asia. Dirt bikes is not quite there yet, but you know, as the sport grows and we go into you know, bigger and better countries, I think that, you know, individually they're all going to try to step it up, and whether they go down to Australia to learn the ropes or they come to the US or to Europe, they're all fun things that our sport has, you know, in the future for them.
First race then, race 1, MX1 and MX2 riders. That's how they line up. The USA from Italy, France, Belgium and Australia. You see Dungey Baggett, Cairoli Lupino, Porcel and Muscat for the lead nations. But who's it going to be that grabs that all-important start here? The 15-second board is about to turn to 5. It's Blake Baggett of the inside. Now this is where the technical side is and the tactics. Who's going to go to the outside? Who's the inside? We've seen the MX1, and that's Cairoli up the inside for the MX1. Oh, he goes down. Cairoli goes down, and it's that Baggett and Wilson, I think it is, up the inside as well. And that's Heron Bracker, the Dutch rider. Chad Reed pulls a whole shot. So Chad Reed then flies around the outside, and Cairoli picks himself up off the deck. And we saw Blake Baggett and Dean Wilson getting hung up there as well. But out front, Australia, Chad Reed riding number 16 on the Honda here. Just behind him, the 113, Evgeny Bobashev, the Russian. Well, they were happy just to qualify. And Ryan Dungey, number 1, so the defending champions getting off to a good start, apart from the fact Blake Baggett down, well, not quite down, at turn 1 just a moment ago. Dungey into second position. And Ken Roxon, the first of the MX2 guys there, the number 8. So he's got 3 450cc machines ahead of him. And Roxon in the yellow, going through that turn now over the stripe. He's in 4th position. Just behind him, it's his team, Team Great Britain, Tommy Searle, riding number 10 on that green Kawasaki. Look at the crowd here, the atmosphere absolutely electric all morning long, all weekend long actually. A mistake there from Dungey that allows Bobashev to run up along the outside. He gains that momentum back and goes past the American who tries to fight back. But look at this, Evgeny Bobashev, he goes to the inside, protects his investment. And he's making Ryan Dungey go around the outside. Ken Roxon keeping a watching brief. Cairoli's out! Cairoli goes down. Wow, that bike's going nowhere. And look at that, the handlebars severely damaged, broken off there. Well, that can only be a result of an impact crash for Tony Cairoli, so not good for the Italians. Alessandro Lupino, his teammate, down in what, 19th place or thereabouts. Dungey though goes up on the inside of Evgeny Bobashev. Ken Roczen closing in all the time. There's Tommy Searle. So it's a real battle here. Chad Reed leading the American now. Number 1, Ryan Dungey, that's him. He's got the Russian 113 of Evgeny Bobashev. Number 8 of Roczen in 4th. The 10 of Tommy Searle. That's your top 5 riders. Just behind them, Tyler Rattray closing in, wanting to join the party on another Kawasaki for South Africa. Or was it Porcel? Well, Rattray is in there, and Porcel. So the French really getting behind Christophe Porcel, who is now the lead Frenchman. Well, those rain-clad... Oh, Lupino goes out. Alessandro Lupino, so that's 2 zeros, it looks like, for Team Italy. And that has severely dented their chances of a podium. Well, there's Marvin Muscat. He's now in 10th place. He's the second rider for Team France. And he's having a not too bad a ride, Marvin Muscat. But up front, Chad Reed coming under pressure now. And the rain's starting to fall. We've got the rain coming down on what is a very hard, dry, slick circuit already. And this will make conditions treacherous. Goggles will need to be preserved. As we look at Porcel. So Christophe Porcel then in 7th place at the moment. The rain really starting to come down. And Roczen's gone through. Roczen is there in the yellow here. The 2 riders behind him, behind the back marker, is Ryan Dungey. So the rainy conditions and really playing into the hands of the little 250cc machine. Easier to get the power down. And look at that, Ken Roczen going after Chad Reed for the lead. Well, I don't believe we've seen an MX2 rider win a big bike race since Ryan Villapoto at Budds Creek in 2007. And maybe Cairoli actually at Matterley Basin 2006, so certainly Villapoto, the last MX2 rider to do so. Chad Reed almost coming to a stop at the bottom of the hill. Conditions very, very difficult. Looks like Jeremy Stewart, the Swiss guy, in the MX2 category. Well, he's a long way back. There's Tyler Rattray going through. Well, sun coming out on the final lap here. And Chad Reed riding without goggles. He's weathered the storm. He's managed to keep Ken Roczen behind him. Look at the deep ruts. He has to avoid the roost off the back marker just ahead of him. But, well, Chad Reed, you remember he had that big crash at Millville earlier on in the season, which some say really changed the course of his outdoor season in the US. But looking back to form in this first race here at Saint-Jean d'Angely. Rode his first ever Motocross of Nations here, of course, in 2000, did Chad Reed. Up over the Fox double stepper, through the final corner. And Chad Reed takes a long look over his shoulder, and he's going to hold on from Ken Roczen. And it's going to be Chad Reed who wins by almost 4 seconds the first race, the MX1, MX2 category. Ken Roczen comes over the line second, Ryan Dungey just behind in third. Official confirmation then of race 1. Chad Reed leads for Australia, Roczen second on the MX2 bike for Germany. Dungey, Searle, Rattray, Liot, Barragan, Muscan down there in 8th, the second MX2. Wilson 9th for Great Britain, Roulox 10th for Belgium. Blake Baggett down there in 17th, look at that. Needed those points after too many mistakes. That might help USA in the long run.
Actually, I was eating lunch and it started downpouring, and thought, man, this track's going to be a mess. And then we went out for the parade lap, and it was actually the best that it's been all weekend. So I was actually pretty excited to get out there. I took the first Sorry, Mossy, man, you got hosed on the start, I'm sure, but we ripped a whole shot and I made the most of it and did make myself look like a fool by getting a whole shot and getting smoked. So just happy to win again, man. It's been a couple of months and I felt good out there. As the race went on, I just felt better and better, and this is where we should have been in the last few races.
Well, here's how they stand then after race 1. Great Britain on top at the moment, 13 points. France second, Australia third, USA fourth, Estonia fifth. The Republic of South Africa outside favourites there. They're in seventh. So looking good for Great Britain then. Tommy Searle and Dean Wilson coming home in fourth and ninth. But it was Chad Reed from Australia who wins in race 1.
Now, race 1 has been and go, and what a race it was. The weather conditions, the racing, everything was pretty amazing out there. But France didn't have the best of days for them. But somehow they are still second in the Motocross of Nations charts at the moment. But race 2's on the way. But first, we're going to check out what makes France tick.
Yeah, of course, we don't have the jet lag, you know, and we are always fighting with the Americans for the Motocross of Nations. We are favorites, they are favorites.
You know, they haven't been really nice over there to me this year, but you know, I came back here and the bike's really nice, the bike's good, Kyrie's behind me and it's all good, so you know, we'll see on the track this weekend, but I love my bike and I'm going to try the best I can.
Not right after my second injury, but the last 2 races in US went really good for me and I did two podium, 3rd place.
We are here, we had the good hotel. I saw my bike, really happy to see with the French flag and number 21 like I have normally.
Like I said, I'm happy, but I'm happy to have a good team because I know the 2 other guys are really good. So that was my goal, to be in a good team, not only to be in a team that there's nobody in it. So yeah, I'm really happy to be in it.
Welcome back. Now, Team Great Britain. There was a lot of speculation with who was going to be picked for this team. However, they've ended up with 2 national champions, Dean Wilson and Brad Anderson, and one of the best GP riders to come out of England, Tommy Searle. Let's take a look at how they've been getting on.
I feel we have a strong team, and I think a lot of people that know what they're talking about, they also see we have 3 strong riders.
Me, Tommy and Brad, you know, we've all had a tremendous season, so hopefully we can just carry the momentum and make it happen this weekend. I'm definitely, I want to be on the box, no doubt. I mean, it's definitely an achievable goal, and you know, if things are going well, maybe I'll win, you never know, but definitely the first step is to be on the box. Yeah, the 250 going up these hills is going to be painful, to say the least. I mean, it's a rocky track, so it's going to be tough, but you know, I'm going to give it my best go.
We have to race against other 450s. If I was on a 250, then I'll be struggling a little bit up the hills, but my bike's working great. We haven't done much testing, but I feel we're ready to race it.
Yeah, it's hard to even pronounce. I mean, it's Saint Jean d'Angely, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't say it quite perfect, but it's not the easiest word to say.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and get in there and just shove everyone out the way and fight for positions, and the best position hopefully will come out on the box.
Race 2 lineup again, same order, but look at that. Baggett, Filippoto, Lupino, Guarnieri, Muscan, Paulin, Roulon, Strybos, Moss, Metcalf, Terra Blanche, Swanepoel, Dean Wilson, Brad Anderson, Paolo Alberto and Luis Correa. The top riders, Ken Roxon and Marcus Schiffer for Germany. Five-second board goes up. And Blake Baggett once again at the inside. In fact, 2 MX2 riders alongside him, Lupino and Roulon. And Gauthier Paulin is in there, is he? Yes, he is. And he comes across, makes the whole shot, does he? He reached the stripe first. So listen to the noise out there. France are leading the second race with Gauthier Paulin, the open class rider. Jeffrey Hurling's up there in the inside on the KTM. Right in the 1-1-2. Listen to that noise. Hurlings goes to the inside, a mistake from Paulan. Have we got a new race leader going up the hill? Everybody else trying to get through there. And yep, Hurlings is leading. But the noise here is absolutely unbelievable. And Ken Roxon there in third place on the KTM. So once again, Ken Roxon getting leading starts here. And a mistake again from Paulan. Roxon on the gas. Has he made the pass stick? He moves into second position over the top of the hill. So we've got Hurlings, who's stepping up from the MX2 World Championship division. He's leading his teammate from that KTM team. Ken Roxon, Gauthier Paulan, another rider stepping up from 250s to 450s this weekend. Having a good ride so far in these opening laps. Just behind him, back in fourth position. Look like Tonus on the Yamaha from Switzerland. As Roxon tries to make a move around the outside of Hurlings. Not going to get done through there though. And these two guys leading Paulan at the moment. A little bit further back. Here is Villapoto. Ryan Villapoto going by Gareth Swanepoel. So Villapoto on the move here. And goes up into, fifth position. So not a good start for Villapoto or Blake Baggett. In fact, Blake Baggett. Where is Baggett? Well, at the moment he's up into 8th place. So the two Americans not too badly placed at the moment. Oh, we've got yellow flags over there in the background. Here comes Baggett, just behind the Italian there, Guarnieri. The Guarnieri then in blue with the red helmet. Gauthier Paulan making a move on Jeffrey Hurlings. Hurlings goes to the outside here on that 1-1-2, the orange KTM. So too, and look at that, the rain coming down again. Paulan though, he's reeling in. He's found a way past Roxon. Roxon struggling with goggles. And Paulan up the inside of Hurlings. Does he go through? Yes. So we have a new leader, and he's French. And Gauthier Paulan leads again. Wouldn't this be something for the Frenchman? Riding with his favourite 21 number that he takes from the Grand Prix. Marvin Musquin goes down. Marvin Musquin goes out of 9th place. And we're 9 laps in. So there's number 9, that's Siegel, the German teammate to Ken Roxon. Roxon now coming under pressure from Ryan Villapoto. This is for 3rd place. So Villapoto has been a little bit up and down in this moto, quite literally. But he's now found a way to close back in on Roxon. Look at that, Roxon, the roll-offs flapping from the goggles. You can only assume a stone has broken those just at the point when Paulan went by him. But here's Hurlings. He's in 2nd position. Having a good ride on that KTM 350. Roxon goes to the inside. Around the outside, the green Kawasaki. Ryan Villapoto gets better drive than the 250 KTM. We've got a back marker at the top of the hill as well. And Villapoto goes through. Oh, he goes straight on and they touch. Both riders collide, but Villapoto goes through. So Villapoto now 3rd, the leading American rider on that Kawasaki. Blake Baggett, he's working his way up as well after that fall earlier. And he's now in. Oh, who's that? The bike upside down. Looks like Lupino sat down over there. Over to the left side, just getting up. Whoa! Big crash for Lupino. So another no score then for Team Italy. Ken Roxon just getting caught behind a back marker as he tries to go back after Ryan Villapoto, and Jeffrey Hurlings is there as well. So we've got 2nd, 3rd and 4th all locked together. Hurlings tries to go and try and escape from Villapoto there on that green Kawasaki. Here's our race leader though, down past pit lane for the final time. No time for celebrations because look, here's second place on the orange KTM, Jeffrey Hurlings. Third, the number 3, Filippoto for the USA. He needs these points. Remember, it's 1 for a win, 2 for second, 3 for third, 4 for fourth place, all the way down to 40th position. The best 5 results count from the 6 scores that the 3 riders will have in their 2 motos. A mistake there from Filippoto. Gauthier Paulin though, he's going to head down the hill and he's going to take a historic victory here on home soil. And he raises the roof. Filippoto cannot quite find a way past Hurlings. Official confirmation then. Gauthier Paulin wins 14 France. Hurling second for the Netherlands on the first ride on that 350. Filippoto third, Roxon fourth. Again, the leading rider, he will win the MX2 category outright. Stryber, Swanepoel, Brett Metcalf and Davide Guarneri, Carlos Campano, Arnold Tonus. Once again, Blake Baggett down in 17th place.
I don't realize for the moment, I'm so focused on the third moto. I need to be strong as I was for this moto, and that's my goal. But yeah, it's unbelievable. I just hear the public, it's crazy. I saw the French flag, it's just amazing to win. But like I say, I'm so focused to give the best for my country, and we'll see end of the third moto.
So a great result then for Gauthier Paulin. And that means now that after 2 races, France jumps to the top of the leaderboard ahead of USA. There's 9 points in it. Belgium, Germany, Great Britain dropping to 5th place. It was not a good second moto for the Brits. Remember, they led after race 1. One race to go, everything to play for. Can France hold on and record a historic victory here on home soil?
Well, race 2 is done and dusted. We're just waiting on that third and final race. But not only is it nearly the end of the Motocross of Nations, it's also the end of the Motocross World Championship. And to celebrate what a great year it was, we had the awards ceremony on Saturday night. And KTM basically swept the podium, as it were, as it had such a successful year. Let's see what happened.
Well, as Georgia already mentioned there, Saturday night, both she and I presented the Youthstream Awards, and in recognition of a hard season of 2011 motocross racing, our dignitaries were on stage there. Giuseppe Luongo, the Youthstream president, Mr. Jorge Villegas, the FIM vice president, and of course Mr. Dr. Wolfgang Strupp, the director of the FIM Motocross Commission, along with Jacques Boll and Jean-Pierre Mougin. Well, first up was the Manufacturer Award in MXoN. That was KTM, Dirk Grubel winning that for KTM. Luigi Sompetti on hand to present him with that award. Valentina Ragni stepped up to take the MX2 Manufacturers Award for KTM once again. Nikos Gunaris presenting the plaque to Valentina. The FIM MX3 Motocross World Champion Julian Bill couldn't be here, so his award was collected on his behalf by Claude Clement. That was presented to him by Jorge Villegas, Giuseppe Luongo and Dr. Wolfgang Strupp. No secret as to who the FIM MX2 Motocross World Champion was. Ken Roxon riding for KTM. Again, the same 3 guys on hand to present him with the award, and a great season for the young German. Well, the biggest cheer came for his teammate from MXoN, of course, Antonio Cairoli, winning the FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship and taking his 5th title in 2011. Joins a list of riders that include Georges Jobet, Eric Cabourg, Joel Smets, Joel Robert, Roger de Costa, and Stefan Everts. Of course, Everts and Joel Robert winning 10 and 6 titles respectively. That pretty much brought the celebrations to an end. We, of course, had recognition for Wings of Life as well, the Spinal Research Foundation.
yeah, Max crashing out in that last race, and it was maybe actually all about Marcus Schiffer, and who's also my teammate now. So I think anyway we got a pretty good team with also with Daniel Siegel.
I heard on Sunday already that Max is injured a little bit, but I didn't know what's really going on, and so I wait to Hubert call me, and he said, yeah, Max is out and you have to come to France.
It's more like a family here, because on the German championship or at the GPs, you are not so close, you know, you're riding against each other, but here you help each other, so it's really great. Eh?
You know, if we can get top, let's say top 7.
It's a pretty big step, but it's not the first time. The last time was not so good for the Russia, but I hope this time we will be much better and we can do some good results.
This is so different. It's before race and for a week coming, and adaptation is hard.
I hate this track and really not get on really well. So and then, you know, it's difficult to say something in the front, but just when the gate drops, then you know, it depends how I get the start, and I do my best like everybody do it. And for sure it's important. Like I mean, it's like Sasha said, it's big event, and we are here, you know, and representing Russia. That's really a good pleasure, like for us. I cannot say, yeah, I want to be, you know, like beat about all these guys, and we just see what speed I have there on the track, and then in the race you can see it.
I don't know, I want to beat everybody. I want to be the strongest, you know.
Race 3 is about to start, and the guys are coming in from their sighting lap, getting ready to get on that start line. And we just had some exciting news that the next 3 years we're going to be going to Thailand, Asia for the Motocross World Championship. So that's pretty exciting. But the most important thing right now is the last race of the Motocross of Nations, Race 3.
Well, look at this for a lineup. USA with Dungey and Villapoto. They pulled the big hitters out of the bag, saved them till last. Cairoli, Guarneri, they cannot influence the result. Pourcel and Paulin, they're the lead French riders. They're leading the nations as we go into the last race. And they're doing it by a comfortable margin as well. France are on 31, USA on 40, Belgium on 43, Germany on 47, and Great Britain on 54. Remember, the results from this last race, we'll get those in, and we will drop the worst result. And it looks like Evgeny Bobashev as he storms uphill once again on that Honda. For Team Russia, the Americans are in there. Both Americans are in there. Villapoto and Ryan Dungey. Where are they? Second and third. So we've got the Russian Bobashev. Then we've got Villapoto, Dungey, Rattray. And then it looked like maybe Pourcel or Tommy Searle in there. Well, it's Tommy Searle just ahead of Chad Reed. So the crowd are on their feet here, because all the big players are out here. Wow, look at this. Bobashev and Villapoto going at it for the lead. Remember, Ryan Villapoto and Ryan Dungey, they need to at least finish first and second here to have any chance of winning. And Villapoto goes up the inside. Bobashev leans on him. And Villapoto goes through. Dark clouds again looming on the horizon. Villapoto holds a nice tight line. Bobashev jumps down the inside, but he's not going to get done there. And this time it's a little bit easier for the American, Ryan Villapoto. And he's going to look at wanting to stretch his lead. He's got his teammate behind in third on that yellow Suzuki. There's Christophe Pourcel, number 19 on the Kawasaki. He's in fourth place. Oh, Villapoto's down. And Ryan Dungey runs into the back of him. And then we've got Pourcel. The crowd are absolutely flying here now. Oh, just gets caught in the rut and goes down. And he manages to keep his hand on the clutch, picks the bike up. But it's Evgeny Bobashev who leads. Dungey is now third. He's got Pourcel breathing all over the back of him. Almost looks like he's trying to hold up play here to allow Ryan Villapoto to get settled back into the groove. Takes a look over his shoulder, Ryan Dungey. And Pourcel goes through into third place. And once again, the roof has been raised here at Saint-Jean. There's Bobashev. He's got Villapoto closing in second position. Oh, mistake there from Bobashev as he comes out of that long left-hander. but Villapoto is closing all the time. Porcel in third place. He's just off the back of these guys, or is he? No, it's Dungey. So we've lost. Well, there's Porcel. So Porcel, is he off the track? Is that? Oh, look, I think the rear wheel looked like he was struggling to come to a halt there. And that is the Frenchman out. Well, this will change the shape of this Motocross Nations result as Ryan Villapoto goes up the inside once again of Evgeny Bobryshev, who's having a weekend of his life here. Moto number 1 wasn't so great for him, even when he ran up the head of the field. Had a stone hit the goggles, but Villapoto having to fight back past the Russian. He goes through over the tabletop this time. A little bit easier, despite making that mistake a couple of laps ago. So part 1 then. Ryan Villapoto back in front. There is Ryan Dungey coming up the hill in the opposite direction on that yellow Suzuki. And the Russians cheering on Evgeny Bobryshev. Bobryshev not letting Villapoto go though. And Villapoto, number 3 on the green Kawasaki, tries to lay down the hammer once again. Here is his teammate, Ryan Dungey, number 1, Team USA, on that yellow Suzuki. He's in third place at the moment. There is Gauthier Paulin. So Paulin, he's working his way through. He's ahead of the number 15 of Davide Guarneri. So he's there. Oh, God, Ryan Dungey goes through. Dungey now into second position. So this is looking good for Team USA because Christophe Porcel is out. He was in third position on the third lap of the race. But Ryan Dungey just needs to maintain his focus, keep his calm, hold his nerve, and try and defend off the challenge of the Russian Evgeny Bobryshev, the 113 there on that red Honda. That's second and third coming over the finish line right now. Brett Metcalf closing in fast as well. So Metcalf, the number 18 for Australia. There's the 116 of Tyler Rattray, trying to go around Evgeny Bobryshev. And this is for third place. Bobryshev on the inside in the rut, gets on the gas. Whoa, the back end spins out, and Rattray goes through. Here's Chad Reed and Gauthier Paulin. This is for 7th position. Gauthier Paulin, the lead rider there in the red, white and blue. Chad Reed, number 16, around the outside. Tommy Searle having a great ride through the field yet again. He was 20th on the opening lap. Tommy Searle, he's now challenging for a top 5 position. He's got Chad Reed and Gauthier Paulin ahead of him. Chad Reed goes through. So Reed then goes through. And he's now chasing Guarneri. And it's Guarneri who's still there in 6th position. Tommy Searle all over the back of Guarneri, having found a way past Chad Reed and Gauthier Paulin. The Italian riding out of his skin this weekend. He knows he can't do anything to do any better than he's doing already to try and get the result for Team Italy. Bobryshev up the inside of Chad Reed. Can he make it stick? He does, and he transfers across and gives Chad Reed absolutely nowhere to go. So Bobryshev then goes up into 6th place. Here's Ryan Villapoto. He leads here. He's got his teammate behind him in 2nd place, about 10 seconds back. Takes a long look over his shoulder, raises a hand as he goes past the American pit, down pit lane straight. Tyler Rattray has had a solid ride in 3rd position, and Tommy Searle has fought heroically through for Great Britain, but it's going to be to no avail, unfortunately for the Brits. They're going to miss out on the podium by about 2 points, losing out to Australia. So once again, Great Britain are going to finish in 4th place, but what can you say about Team America? It looked like they were down and out. After moto number 1, they were down in 4th, trailing Great Britain by 7 points. After the 2nd moto, they pulled it back to go 2nd, but they were still 9 points off of Team France. And here is Ryan Villapoto taking a long look over his shoulder here. The number 3 already celebrating, waiting for Ryan Dungey, his teammate, to come over the line. And it's an American 1-2, Ryan Villapoto and Ryan Dungey. They celebrate for Team USA. That's victory number 22 and 7 wins on the bounce for the Americans. And it was another final race decider for Team USA. They throw their bikes down, they celebrate in front of the crowd. And what a celebration that is as well. Well, they've been so used to knocking bells out of each other throughout the season. But a celebration of a different kind there. This was when Ryan Villapoto went down, surely. No, this is the official result. Villapoto, Dungey, American 1-2, Rattray third for South Africa. Tommy Searle from 20th to 4th. Guarnieri was 5th for Italy. Bobashev 6th. Reed and Paulhan 7th and 8th. Erling's a good ride for him this weekend in 9th. And Brett Metcalf was 10th. A little bit further down, Brad Anderson for Great Britain down in 15th. Started to drop down the leaderboard as the race went on from 11th to 15th. And Gareth Swanepoel just running out of steam there in 18th for South Africa. Team USA dominate again. Look, 26 points to them. France on the podium in 2nd, Australia 3rd, Britain 4th, Belgium 5th. A good ride for them considering they were a weakened side. South Africa, Germany, Spain, the Netherlands and Estonia, they were your top 10 this weekend. And the Russians there, 15th overall, after qualifying for the first time in a very, very long time. Well, it's always a massive podium here at the Motocross of Nations. There we see the Australians on the preferred podium. In 3rd position for the first time in their history. Their team manager Gary Ben, the French in 2nd with their team manager Olivier Robert, and Roger de Costa there in the red coat. A 6-time winner riding for Team Belgium, and here he is taking America to their 22nd Nations victory. Jorge Villegas there in the blue coat, the FIM Deputy President and the Vice President of Ustream, Mr. Luigi Sompetti, and Dr. Wolfgang Schrub, the Director of the FIM Motocross Commission. Carapier Stefan, FIM Asia President, handing out awards on the podium as well. It's been a fantastic day here at Saint-Jean d'Angely. That's the 2nd place trophy to Team France, and while we're at it, the individual winners, MXoN and MX Open, were Ryan Dungey and Ryan Villapoto. Ken Roxon winning the overall classification in MX2. But look at the celebrations out there. It's been a great day. We've had a lot of things here, rain, shine, difficult conditions, and Christophe Pourcel, what can you say about him? Jean-Pierre Mougin from the Olympic Committee of the French Sporting Federation, he's also here, and it's thanks to him that we're here at all. But this is what it's all about, the Chamberlain Trophy presented by Jorge Villegas and Luigi Sompetti. The Americans are victorious yet again. And what about Blake Baggett there in the middle? First time here for MX2. Didn't really realise what this event was all about. I bet he does now. And it's going to take a few days for it to settle in with him, that's for sure. Look at the size of those Monster Energy trophies. Try getting that back on the plane, Roger. Well, certainly everybody looks happy. None more so than the Australians. First time on the podium for them in their history.
The Motocross of Nations is their win. Ryan Dungey, now what a day for you to come here. Does it feel any different from it did last year?
I mean, every year is different, but absolutely this win means a lot, you know, just as much. And the whole Team USA crew, man, it was amazing from the time we got here till now. And to walk away with the win, and Blake Baggett, Ryan Villapoto, Roger de Costa, Mechanic Mike, everybody, it was an amazing accomplishment, and I'm just really thankful we could pull it off.
Congratulations, Ryan Dungey there, and I'm going to move on and speak to Blake Baggett. Blake, first Motocross of Nations for you, and you've won. I mean, explain how that feels.
Yeah, it's amazing. I couldn't have done it without Team USA, Ryan Dungey and Ryan Villapoto, and myself. Been an awesome team, you know, work together just this one time out of the year, so it was a great experience, and I'm pumped. Fans are crazy, and France is pretty sweet, so I just got to give it up to the team, you know, Team USA and Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki.
Congratulations, Blake Baggett, and also we'll just quickly find Ryan Villapoto. Villapoto, who's just sitting on his bike, the winning bike, of course, Ryan Villapoto. I mean, a fantastic day, and like you said, that last moto was amazing for you.
Yeah, you know, me and Ryan knew that it was down to us. We were the only ones, you know, us two were in that last moto, and we had to go 1-2. We knew that going out, and you know, we both got awesome starts, and actually we didn't know that Porcel had gone out, so we were just out there riding and doing what we needed to do.
Congratulations, Ryan Villapoto, Team USA, for the Motocross of Nations St. John's Angeli winners.
And what a weekend it's been. It's going to take some shifting for that crowd, but it was worth every single moment. The French just looking out in the end with that bad luck with Christophe Porcel, the tyre coming off the rim. But what can you say about Team USA? Victorious again. That's 22 victories in the history. Ryan Villapoto, Ryan Dungey, Blake Baggett, and the rest of Team USA there in the background. What a podium that is.
And there we have it. It's the end of the week of the Motocross of Nations in St. John's Angeli, and I'm joined by the 7-time in a row winners, Blake Baggett, Ryan Villapoto, and Ryan Dungey. We'll see you next year.